How's it going, guys? Val here. Welcome back to Pandora Rising. So, today, June 16th, 2020, we got patch 0.5.0, and it is a big one. We got a ton of in-game changes. We got new troops, we got new commanders, a bunch of quality of life, a bunch of stat tweaks, a bunch of system updates and sort of different ways that the game calculates various things. And I'm going to go over some of them right now. I'm going to talk about some of the quality of life stuff that they've added in. And then we're going to go over the new troops, new commanders, some of the tags that have been added in, which are really cool. I'm super excited to see how all this new stuff plays out. So let's start with a big one, which I'm seeing quite often now in mobile games. I don't cover all the mobile games that I play on my channel. This one game got me pretty excited to start making content. So, if you see this little icon down here, they've added a translator into the game, which is pretty cool. And it even tells you what language it was, well, I think it's assuming the language it was translated from, because I don't think that's Spanish. But if we scroll up a bit, whoops, you can see it's attempting to translate. Now, it does a decent job, and I'm sure this will be updated and tweaked as time goes on, but it's a really welcome sight, because if you've been playing, you'll know that there's a lot of Filipino players. I know there's New Zealand also has access to the game, and I'm in Canada. So I don't want to offend, I don't know what language it is that the Filipino people speak, but I don't know it. So having this translator is nice. I know it translates from French. We do have a few French speakers in our alliance. Although I speak French, but for everyone else, it's kind of nice to be able to see what everyone's saying. So that's the first one. The second one is this little icon up here. This is brand new. This is your village combat protection. Before, you could only access this from the world map. Now, having it up there is not a massive change, but it is fairly significant, because now if someone sends an attack and you have to open your game, it defaults to your village, it saves you from a loading screen. So if you know you're getting attacked and you have an abundance of resources available, or let's say you forgot to reapply a shield when you woke up in the morning or on your lunch break or whatever, you can do it straight from your village. So it allows you to do this slightly quicker than before. Now, the other thing, which is a nice quality of life change, is you can start multiple rallies at once. So if I go down here and I click rally, I can start this rally, and it'll queue up in here. It'll be waiting for however long you set it for. But if I have another commander slot, let's say we want to do a combat rally, I can go over here while that obsidian rally's queued up and also queue this one up. Now, is that a big deal? Not really, but it's nice if you've got a bunch of players kind of doing their own thing. Maybe some people have some extra slots open, and you can queue up some rallies for everybody. So that's one thing. And then another small change, which many players probably won't notice, is actually you can see your raid keys now up here, which, again, small change, but a welcome one. All right, let's move on here. Oh, actually, on the topic of combat rallies, you can't scroll here anymore, but you might notice something. Wood sprites are no longer available in combat rallies, which I can kind of understand. And if you saw my most recent video about logging your wood sprites from combat rallies, I kind of understand why they've changed it. So kudos to them. It kind of sucks, but you know what? They've also made an attempt to make up for that, and we're going to talk about it right now. And that is a brand new event type called the Raid Challenge. So this is a PvP challenge, and it entails, if you click on this icon up here, attacking players who are harvesting resources, whether it's through a rally, so your alliance attacking a rally, or individual attacks on players. Now you can see for each one common resource, 40 points, uncommon, 600 rare resources, which is currently only level 5 rallies, you get 800 points. That is A lot. Now, keep in mind, if you're hitting players, you cannot shield, especially if you're hitting trivial battles, which I don't suggest, or easy battles. Now, if you're doing fair battles, I don't know exactly what the calculation is, but you may take a 30-minute penalty. So be mindful. What I would strongly suggest is, as you progress through these milestones, do not collect them at all, like individually. Don't do milestone 1, collect, milestone 2, collect, 3, etc. What I would do is get as far as you absolutely can, and then once you can shield and collect everything, especially if it's going to put you over your threshold. Now, I've tallied all this up, and there's 15 milestones. This is a crap load of wood sprites, guys. This is, if you hit all the milestones, which I don't expect many players to do, this is 840,000 wood sprites. That is a lot. That is an absolute boatload. Now, the other thing they mentioned in their patch notes is they're planning on doing sort of a weekly challenge schedule. Now, I don't know how they're planning on laying that out, if it's going to be the same challenges every day, like every weekday. So let's say Monday's patrol challenges, Tuesday would be gathering challenges, Wednesday would be raid challenges, so on and so forth. But they did talk about sort of a challenge schedule, so I'm excited to see what that actually entails and how they sort it out. A lot of mobile games do sort of a daily challenge. I know games like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Marvel Strike Force, Disney Sorcerer's Arena, which are all like gacha games, all of them do challenges that are only available on specific days of the week, and then they typically do all of the challenges available on like a Sunday, which is cool. So Sundays, if they follow suit in this game, Sundays are going to be very busy days for people, at least in game. Okay, now I want to talk about the way that they tuned your army power. So I'm going to go back to my base, and pre-patch, my Swinara was at 23, well, just shy of 23,000 power. She is now at 31,354. Some players may have noticed that all of their army powers for all their commanders have shot up significantly. Now, it's not exactly what you think. As far as I'm aware, the developers have tuned how this is calculated. And what that's going to allow the game to do is better gauge what type of battle you are engaging in. So is it a fair battle? Is it trivial? Is it impossible? Is it easy? So with these larger numbers and bigger gaps, it allows a system more space to accurately judge what type of battle you're going into. So don't be confused when you see, your Swinara has 10,000 more power, or your Jake has 20,000 more power than he did before. Everyone has had their stats increased. As well as, I'm pretty sure every single commander, if we go in here, has had their talents reworked. So these have been changed. Jake, just for example, used to have Viper Wolves in here, and it's been swapped out for Hellswarm. So make sure you guys go and check all your commanders to see what may or may not have been subbed out of their talents. Okay, because you're going to have to go into here and change your decks. You're going to want to change all these up. Now, the other thing too, I don't have any left. I've already upgraded them all. You might see this circle, and when you open this up, you might see a use shards button that has no wood sprites and no picture. And what that is the game adjusting for the change in required shards to upgrade or unlock characters or units. So if you see a use shards and there's no wood sprites and there's no image, click it. It's free upgrades. Boom, boom, boom. Just go for it. So I got quite a few. My prosperity went up like 140,000 just from essentially what was free upgrades, which I think was just shards I had stashed plus the system tweaking everything back to its appropriate values. The other thing too is epic commanders, which I think I have them all. There's only a few now. They've had their unlock cost increased to 300. They've had the rare commanders have gone up to 150. Now, the one thing that they did do, which in my opinion is excelente. If you had previously, let's say 15 shards out of 30 to unlock this commander, who previously actually was an epic, they scaled your owned shards up with the increase in unlock. Does that cover everything? No, it does not. New commander tags. We'll go back in here. I hate doing this on PC. It scrolls so slow. Oh, okay, we'll do this right now, actually. This is Neytiri, and she got body swapped with someone. So this is our new Neytiri. She's still sweet. She got... Basically, her talents are the same, except they subbed Hunting Party in for Ikran Assault. Ikran Assault got removed. Hunting Party got put in. I know a lot of people don't use this card. They've changed it. Check the patch notes, but I will go over for 2 seconds here. When you deploy this, they deploy in a different formation, so it can't be instant countered by an Arrow Storm or a Concussion Blast. They reduced the energy cost by 1, and they seem to have spread them out a little bit more, but not just maybe the formation that they drop in. But the energy cost is now 9. Another person that got body swapped was Ninat. This was Akilu. Oh man, I don't even remember her name now. She was the Obsidian Farmer. She was swapped out. I don't know if they intend on bringing her back as an epic. That's possible because Ninat is a rare. But she's gone now. This new character's here in her place. Sky Archer, that's one of the new units I'm going to cover in a second. But these got changed as well. Make sure you go through all of your commanders for these. The last person that got body swapped was Vokon, who is now whatever that is. Sura Awan. Sorry if I butchered that. So he got swapped for Vokon. He seems pretty cool. He's a raider, still like Vokon was, but Vokon is still in the game. Unlike Neytiri and Kirilu, or whatever the heck her name was, Vokon is still here. He has a new tag. This is one of the 2 new commanders, one being on the RDA side, that has Navi Nemesis. Now, the RDA one has RDA Nemesis, similar to how Jake has an RDA Nemesis, but now you have a Navi who is again effective against Navi, which is new. The other one that we got, hey, I didn't close it this time, is Averin. She has the Challenger tag. This is cool. This is the first of its kind in the game. I'm excited to see how effective this is. I feel like this is going to dominate Sacred Sites for people that have her. But this commander is more effective when battling at Sacred Sites. That's awesome. The Sacred Sites got reworked in terms of balance and also the bonuses you get for attaining a Sacred Site. So I'm pretty excited to see that. Now, we'll take a quick little peeky peek at the new units, which I am super hyped for. This is a summoning unit. The Stingbat Caller. Get out of here. The Stingbat Caller. So, from reading her description, and then looking at her stat types, it sounds to me like she throws Stingbats at you. I don't know if she's actually summoning them as individual units, because there's no summon speed here and there's no summon level here. So I'm curious to see how that works. The other new unit we got was the Sky Archer, who looks incredible. This, from gauging off their stats, I think is going to be just a massive pain in the booty. Look at this range. It's a sniper class, essentially. Now, minimum range is interesting. I'm assuming this means if something is like directly on top of it, it can't attack them. But I'm going to test it out once I unlock this unit. Same with the Stingbat Caller. But I'm super excited. This is a pretty cheap cost if it's a crazy sniper. So, I mean, obviously it'll be countered by certain cards, but we shall see. Alright guys, well, I hope this was informative. This covers only a small portion of all of the crazy stuff that they've implemented today. I will try and cover more of it probably in another video, but right now I am trying to rework all my decks and figure out all of the little nuances of the new stuff, all the troop upgrades and all that stuff that's happened. So, two things I want to talk about real quick before I let you go. These developers have been kicking some serious butt. This may be one of the best dev teams I've seen. I know Foxnet owns Marvel Strike Force, and the Marvel Strike Force developer team and their support team and stuff are quite phenomenal. And I don't know if Foxnet is the common denominator here, but the support team and the dev team in this game are absolutely on point. Like I said earlier, I play a lot of mobile games. This is the only one I cover, but I have never experienced a better support team than the ones that are in charge of the support for this game. So I'd strongly suggest, if you're having in-game issues or if you have feedback about the game, you guys throw support tickets their way. If you don't know how to get there, if you click on the settings icon, support, the little message icon up in the top right here, boom, there you go. Hello, thanks for contacting Avatar. Throw in what your issue is. It'll ask you what type of ticket you're submitting. So feedback, bug report, in-game issues, account issues, battle tips, basically all that kind of stuff. Throw it their way. They have responded to me. I've put in a crap load of tickets. They've responded to me pretty much every time within a day, with 24 hours. Absolutely on point. So big tip of the hat to them. Obviously the devs are listening. This update proves that. They've implemented so many changes for the better. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next video.